The Go Bigger replay event is this weekend, featuring the Kanto GMAX starters as well as GMAX Gengar. Whatever you do though, don't overrate the GMAX Pokemon during this event. We're going to do an event breakdown, a strategy and counter guide for each GMAX boss, but right at the end I'm going to show you which GMAX Pokemon you should really be focusing on and targeting. This is the Go Bigger replay. With Go With Us. As always, let's get time and dates out of the way. The Replay Go Bigger event will be taking place this Saturday only on the 25th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, so only a 3-hour time frame. Let's have a look at those event bonuses. First and foremost, the max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. In just a little bit, I'm going to show you how to do those 5 free raids, but let's continue here. All power spots will be hosting GMAX battles that are going to refresh every 30 minutes. Additional power spots will be made active for these GMAX battles. It's going to be 8 times max particles when we collect them from power spots. We can make up to 3 special trades during this event. And then from April 24th at 5 p.m., the daily remote raid limit will be increased from 10 until 20. But then on the day of the event, and here's where the trick comes in, it's going to be 2 times max particles from exploring as well as quarter adventuring distance to get max particles. So this is how you do 5 GMAX battles for absolutely free this weekend. First and foremost, outside of this event, we have a soft cap of 1500. I'm going to leave my account on screen right now, and as you can see, I have over 2000 max particles that I've collected from time research, the Go Pass, so I've gone over that soft cap limit. That means when you wake up on the Saturday, you already have 2 max battles ready to go. Once those battles are complete, you should only have about 100 or 200 or 300 max particles left. I then want you to collect from a power spot, get 800 max particles, then I want you to walk 500 meters to get 600 max particles, and then collect another 800. This should leave you around 2,200 or 2,300 max particles, which would then be another 2 GMAX battles ready to go. If you have the time, once that's done, you could then walk another 500 meters to get another 800 max particles, which would then be another raid, but you would have to walk that 500 meters quite quickly because you're in that 3-hour time frame. Then to go one step further, please check into a community meetup in person. This is going to allow you to get a free timed research, which is going to reward you another 800 max particles, which is another free GMAX raid. That is how you're going to do at least 5 or 6 GMAX battles for absolutely free. As we know in Pokemon Go, there have been a lot of events recently that do require a lot of tickets as well as Pokecoins. That's why we would strongly recommend looking at today's sponsor, Eldorado.gg. If you guys don't know who they are, Eldorado is a trusted gaming marketplace where you can pretty much buy in-game currency and services across a ton of popular games like Fortnite, FIFA, and of course Pokemon Go. Every seller is verified and every order is backed by Eldorado's trade shield, so you're protected every step of the way, and on top of that, you're getting some of the best prices on the market with a very fast delivery in just a few minutes. For example, just look at the deals on screen right now. Some of these Pokecoin bundles are just incredibly priced. If you want to check this out, please use my discount code on the screen, which is going to be go.eldorado.gg/go-with-us, and don't forget to use that code go with us for a discount. Okay, let's get back into these raid bosses now. The thing about these GMAX battle days is that it's not just about the Pokemon, but more about the resources. If you really want to upgrade your GMAX battle or your Go Bigger experience, please consider buying the ticket for a total cost of $5. This is going to get you another timed research, which is going to award you 1 max mushroom, which doubles your damage in these max battles. It's going to get you 25,000 XP as well as 6,400 max particles. But more importantly, you're going to get 2 times XP for completing these max battles, which is huge. Let me show you what this does in its entirety. When you complete a GMAX battle, you would normally get 25,000 XP. If you had a lucky egg running, you would then get 50,000 XP because it doubles that. If you have the ticket though, you're then going to double that total, which means you're going to get 100,000 XP per raid. And it doesn't end there, because for 200 Pokecoins just before the encounter screen, you can pretty much boost this up to double it again to get 200,000 XP per GMAX battle. Guys, that is almost broken. Let's look at the Stardust side of things. Every single GMAX battle, you would normally get 25,000 Stardust. With a star piece running, you're going to be getting 37,500 Stardust per raid. Let's just do the math on 5 raids very quickly. 5 raids with everything stacked together is going to get you 1 million XP and about 200,000 Stardust. Guys, do not sleep on these GMAX battles for resources. If you are considering buying this ticket, please get it through the web store. You can progress through that web store track to eventually claim some premium items, but also in-game you will receive a free premium battle pass, so you might as well buy it through the web store. Like we said in the beginning though, don't overraid or overspend this weekend, and let me tell you why now. There are only probably one, maybe two Pokemon that are worth raiding, and we're gonna talk about them in a little bit, but very simply, there are two Pokemon here, something like GMAX Blastoise and GMAX Venusaur, which simply just get outclassed even right now in both categories. GMAX Blastoise, because of its lackluster attack stat, gets beaten out by GMAX Kingler, GMAX Inteleon, and if we look at GMAX Venusaur, GMAX Rillaboom is going to be outclassing that Pokemon quite comfortably, and even DMAX Rillaboom is a lot closer to GMAX Venusaur than what people realize. So what I'm saying is, we have to wait and be patient. This is how Pokemon Go works. That being said though, all four, even the other two I've just mentioned, are worth raiding for other reasons as well, such as the Megas, which we're going to touch on. One of the main heartbeats of this video is how to take these Pokemon down, and first and foremost, we're going to talk about GMAX Venusaur, the grass and poison type Pokemon. In order to take this Pokemon down, we need to look at its weaknesses, which is going to be four different things: fire, ice, psychic, and flying. Bear in mind, when it comes to its charge attacks, it is going to use two of the following charge attacks in every battle. It could be Solar Beam, Frenzy Plant, Petal Blizzard, Sludge, or Sludge Bomb. Generally, when it comes to these GMAX battles, and I would adopt this strategy for this day, is that you generally want two tanking Pokemon and one attacking Pokemon, because you can only have a party of 3, and as we know, you can now have a lot of trainers in these battle lobbies, but I would strongly recommend having at least 8 trainers that really know what they're doing with top counters to take down most of these bosses, but you're probably going to need closer to 20 trainers for the average player. So let's start with the best attacking Pokemon you could use for GMAX Venusaur. GMAX Cinderace is number 1 with GMAX Fireball, then GMAX Charizard is in there with GMAX Wildfire, GMAX Alakazam with Psycho Cut, Latios with Zen Headbutt, as well as Darmanitan with Incinerate for your DMAX attackers. Your best tanking Pokemon, and you're probably going to need at least 2 of these, are going to be DMAX Blissey with Pound, Crown Shield Zamazenta with Metal Claw, DMAX Duraludon with Metal Claw, Crown Sword Zacian with Metal Claw. You could definitely use Metagross with Fury Cutter or Shadow Claw. Bear in mind, Shadow Claw will require an elite charge TM, but both of them are half a second fast moves. That's why they are so good. And then you could also use DMAX Corviknight with Sand Attack as a really good tank. The reason why you want these tanks is that it charges the Dynamax meter a lot quicker, because almost all of them have half a second fast moves, which is going to be your best way to charge that meter. Do not use charged attacks in these raids. It's very easy to get tempted to do so, but it actually slows down that meter so you can get to the Dynamax phase. Once you're in that Dynamax phase, make sure to switch to your attacking Pokemon. Once it's over, switch back into your tanks and keep charging up that Dynamax meter again. Once you defeat GMAX Venusaur, you will get an encounter with Venusaur at level 20. That 100% CP is going to be 1554 CP, so screenshot that now if you want to remember. Next up, we're going to touch on GMAX Charizard, the fire and flying type Pokemon. When taking down GMAX Charizard, we have to look at its weaknesses, which is going to be rock, electric, and water. Your attacking Pokemon should definitely be DMAX Gigalith with Smackdown, GMAX Inteleon is in there with GMAX Hydro Snipe, Omastar is in there with Rock Throw, GMAX Kingler is in there with GMAX Foam Burst, as well as GMAX Toxtricity with GMAX Stun Shock. We've just had DMAX Regirock being released this week in Pokemon Go. That's probably going to be one of your best, if not the best tank for GMAX Charizard specifically, with Lock On, Dynamax Blissey with Pound, Dynamax Suicune with Water Gun, as well as DMAX Kabutops with Mudshot. When you defeat GMAX Charizard, you will get an encounter with the regular Charizard that can have a 1 in 64 shiny chance. That 100% CP though is going to be 1651 CP. Next up is going to be GMAX Blastoise, the pure water type Pokemon. If we have a look at these charged attacks, remember it is going to be using 2 of these, so something like Skull Bash and Hydro Pump are definitely the ones you want to avoid. Therefore, your best attacking Pokemon for GMAX Blastoise is going to be GMAX Rillaboom with GMAX Drum Solo, GMAX Toxtricity again with GMAX Stun Shock, GMAX Venusaur is in there with GMAX Vine Lash, and then your best DMAX attackers are going to be DMAX Zapdos with any electric type fast move, as well as Raikou with any electric type fast move, but more specifically Volt Switch. Your best tanking Pokemon are going to be Dynamax Blissey with Pound, DMAX Suicune with Water Gun, Crown Shield Zamazenta with Metal Claw, GMAX Lapras with Psywave, and also DMAX Vaporeon with Water Gun. When you defeat GMAX Blastoise, you will get an encounter with Blastoise, coming again with that 1 in 64 shiny rate. The 100% CP there is going to be 1409 CP. And last but certainly not least is going to be GMAX Gengar, the ghost and poison type Pokemon. The best attacking Pokemon against GMAX Gengar is literally going to be GMAX Gengar with GMAX Terror, GMAX Grimmsnarl with GMAX Snooze, DMAX Latios with Zen Headbutt, as well as DMAX Espeon, funny enough, with Zen Headbutt. For the best tanking Pokemon, you could use Dynamax Blissey again with Pound, DMAX Chansey with Pound, Crown Shield Zamazenta with Metal Claw, Crown Sword Zacian with Metal Claw, as well as DMAX Corviknight with Sand Attack. Once you defeat GMAX Gengar, you will get an encounter with Gengar with that 1 in 64 shiny rate, and that 100% CP is going to be 1644 CP. Screenshot that now if you want to remember that. Those are going to be the best Pokemon to use, but what are the best strategies supporting those Pokemon to make this battle day as easy as possible? First and foremost, I want you guys to look at the power spots. You will notice each power spot almost has something looking like a punching bag. What those punching bags represent is how many other trainers have left their Pokemon to help you in the next GMAX battle. And it's actually been researched that up to 15 Pokemon or more left in that power spot from other trainers is going to help you do an extra 20% more damage, which is incredible. The second thing is weather boost. If you guys are fighting in sunny weather against something like a GMAX Venusaur, GMAX Charizard, as well as GMAX Cinderace in the sun is going to boost your damage even more. The third layer here is friendship levels. If you guys are best friends or ultra friends with people in the lobby, you will then get an extra damage boost there as well. Also, please remember you can dodge in these GMAX battles. There are two different attacks. There is one large attack which hits every Pokemon on the field, but there is a targeted attack, and how you know it's coming your way is that you will get these 3 lines flashing above your head, almost like a spidey sense if you want to say it like that. That is when you know that the attack is incoming. You need to be swiping left or right as much as you possibly can, and if you time it well, you can take significantly less damage. Please consider using Crown Sword Zacian's Behemoth Blade. This is going to increase your attack by another 5% for the duration of the adventure effect. Another thing here, and what a lot of trainers don't know, is that if you do not complete it in that 5 or 6 minute time frame, the Pokemon will then become enraged and its charged attacks get a lot stronger, which is pretty much going to one-shot all of your Pokemon. If that does happen, reset the raid, hope for a different moveset on the GMAX boss, and then go again. And last but not least, if you want the most bang for your buck, please remember to party up with trainers. If you guys share items such as incenses or lucky eggs and star pieces, you're pretty much going to get double the value of items if you all share them. Now we know which Pokemon to use and how to make these raids a lot easier with certain items and adventure effects. What are going to be the best Pokemon to go after? As we said already, GMAX Blastoise and GMAX Venusaur are probably your least priority for the reasons I explained earlier. The top 2 you want to be going after is going to be GMAX Charizard, which is currently the second best GMAX attacker in the game, only just behind something like GMAX Cinderace. That being said though, Cinderace doesn't have as much bulk as something like GMAX Charizard, so there are scenarios where maybe GMAX Charizard could be used as a pretty good tank as well as an attacker in other scenarios. So I would still say GMAX Charizard is a great one to go after, but undoubtedly your number 1 pick on this day and your main priority for me should be GMAX Gengar. This Pokemon for the foreseeable future, if not forever, will be the best GMAX attacker in the game, especially as a ghost type. More than that, it's actually one of the highest DPS max attackers in the game. So even if you wanted to use it as an off-type attacker, if you didn't have anything better for super effective damage in another raid, you could still use GMAX Gengar because of just simply how hard it hits. It's going to be able to do suitable damage depending on what raid you're in. That being said, all of these Pokemon have very strong use even outside of GMAX battles because they all can Mega Evolve. Mega Blastoise is one of the best water type attackers in the game right now. Mega Venusaur is the second or third best grass type attacker still in the game right now. Mega Charizard Y is currently the second best fire type attacker in the game, just behind Mega Blaziken. And even on Mega Gengar side, it is currently the second best ghost type attacker in the game, and it is the second best poison type attacker in the game. Guys, this day is actually really important, not just from a Pokemon utility point of view, but mainly from a resource point of view. I would strongly recommend focusing on those resources, but most importantly, don't overrate this day. Something like GMAX Rillaboom will be returning. Something like GMAX Cinderace will be returning, as well as Inteleon. All of those Pokemon are actually better attackers than everything we've just listed, bar GMAX Gengar. So overall, save your money, don't overdo it. Before we wrap this up, we've got some key things to mention as well. Please remember candy gains. To get the max amount of candy on this day, please consider using a pineapple or silver pineapple berry on these Pokemon when you catch them, because if you do catch them, you're going to be getting about 20 candy per catch, and that's without the Mega Evolution bonus. With the Mega Evolution bonus, especially with the new Super Mega level, if you did have a Super Mega level Victory Bell, or if you have a Super Mega level Dragonite, both of these Pokemon are going to be getting you additional candy for the correlating types. Please remember to Mega Evolve your Pokemon in the background for the certain raid boss that you want more candy for. Another key thing to remember here is leave your Pokemon at power spots, especially something like a legendary Pokemon or another Pokemon like Kubfu, which is very difficult to get candy for. You can get up to 5 candy when leaving them at a power spot, so remember to do that after the battle ends. If you guys want to see everything going on at Pokemon Go this week, please check it out above me right now. Please like and subscribe, guys. We stacked this video for you. This is probably going to be your best strategy guide you would probably find out there. We've given you everything you'd really need to know to make this day as easy as possible for you guys, but remember, do not overrate it. This is your Go Bigger event, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby. Shh.